What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Hidden Heights Farm. I'm Kevin, and this is my buddy Mojo. If you guys are new to the channel, if you're not, you guys know him very well, but look how dirty he is. He is trying to stay cool. So this is a spot behind the house that he likes to come and dig a little hole here in the dirt, and that's how he stays cool, right, buddy? The only bad thing is every once in a while he kicks these rocks up like this, and we don't want to break out no windows. He's like, oh, I wouldn't do that, would I? Whatever it takes to keep you cool. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys are all having a very wonderful day, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today is the beginning of a special day for me. It's going to cut to the chase. We are going to be getting something out of the shop. If you guys have been following the channel, back in February earlier this year, I bought a truck. I bought a 1986 Chevy short wide truck, and over that time since then I have been buying and collecting parts to restore this truck. And today is a special day because we are actually going to be loading it up and taking it to my buddy's shop. Oh, it's about 10-15 minutes from here, and he actually specializes in restoring older vehicles and stuff like that. And now this is something that I kind of wanted to do. The idea I had in mind was to buy this truck. It was one of the only ones I've looked at that didn't have tons of rust on it, and I wanted to do an LS swap. And that's a motor out of a newer Chevy truck or car. It's a 5.3 liter. We actually already have the block over at the shop, and it went to the machine shop. It came back. We actually already started working on it, started putting in some pistons and stuff just the other day. And when we go over there and drop this truck off today, I'll kind of show you guys some of the stuff that we've already got going on. But anyways, I just wanted to put a newer motor in this truck because I'm so tired of carburetors and having to work on them and stuff like that. But then after talking to my buddy Steve over at his shop, he's like, well, why don't you do this? You could do this. You could do that. You know, he gave me all these other ideas. And you know, if you're going to be putting the money into the new motor and stuff, you might as well do what you can to restore a little bit more. So I'll we're going to see if this thing will fire up real quick. If you guys remember, if you followed any of the videos back whenever I brought this thing home, it wouldn't run. I worked on it a little bit, put a different carburetor on it, another used one. Got it to fire up, and I could actually drive it around the house. Now, you can't drive it down the road or nothing like that, so we are going to be trailering it over there. But today, this thing hasn't been fired up in probably 3 or 4 months. I haven't really messed with it. I just got it in here, and I've kind of been messing with the interior a little bit, replacing some of the window switches and stuff like that. It does have power windows, by the way. But let's try to start it up. I'll get it out of here and we'll take a closer look at it. But let's see if this thing will start up real quick before we get too carried away. Okay, well, we got lucky. It started up. It doesn't have very much fuel in it because we are going to be taking out both of the stock tanks and replacing the tanks with one tank, because this thing is going to be fuel injected, so it's going to have an internal pump in. I'm just kind of doing a quick walk around. I'll grab my drone here in a second and do a little flyby, kind of get a 360 view if I can of it. So we already did upgrade the wheels to 20-inch wheels. I don't like how far they stick in, so that's going to be something we address as well. Got new wheels and tires. Kind of show you guys some of the parts in here. I mean, we got all kinds of stuff. We're putting the vintage air back into it. New radiator, fuel tank. I can't even keep track of everything that we got. But yeah, I already put new switches in here. This is gonna have to be replaced. Probably redo the whole interior. We'll just kind of see where as we go. But yep, that's it. So anyways, guys, I've always loved these old trucks like this, the short wide Chevys. My dad had one when I was a kid growing up. I can always remember going fishing, just going and doing things in that old two-wheel drive truck. Brings back a lot of memories. So I want to restore this one, make it nice again, I don't exactly want it to be a show truck. I want it to be something that we can just get in it and drive to town, drive wherever, and not have to worry about it breaking down or worried about the carburetor messing up, anything like that. So I hope you guys will stay tuned, subscribe to the channel if you're new, if you're not subscribed, and come along for the journey of us rebuilding this truck. There's no telling, I don't know how long it's going to take to get it back, but you know, we'll be working on it here and there as we go and as time allows. And just want to kind of vlog it in this videos here because I want to do a before and after and see what it actually looks like. So I'm gonna go get the drone. I'm gonna do a little fly around real quick so I can get some shots of before and after, like I said. And then I'm gonna get the Dodge, the old Cummins. I've already got the trailer hooked up to it because I had to haul the tractor the other day, and we'll trailer it up and take it over to Steve's shop and show you guys what he's got going on and show you guys the engine block that we already got ready to put in this thing. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so we made it to Steve's shop, and he's in there. He's going to go ahead and back this thing up. Alright guys, you've seen it. We got the truck into the shop, and like I said, we're at my buddy Steve's. And what's your shop name?
Steve's Speed Shop.
Steve's Speed Shop. So guys, this is my buddy Steve. He is going to be the one that is either going to make or break this truck, right?
probably gonna break it. It's definitely gonna be broke for a while.
Yeah. So anyways, like I told you guys, we already started working on a 5.3 LS, and Steve got it back from the machine shop.
You sure you want to do a 5.3? I've got a thumper sitting back here in the back.
He's got a motor over here. He was jacking with me. I'll zoom in and show you guys. What is this? A 383?
Yeah, it's a 383. It's pretty nasty. It's one that I built for another customer, and then sometimes things happen in life, and the guy just got to the point where he wasn't going to be able to finish the car. So
yeah, this is a little much for what I need. I think he fired this thing up the other day when I was here, and he didn't give me a warning, and it made me jump back about 10 feet.
Yeah, it
sounds like a monster.
It sounds really good, but honestly, you'd probably get about maybe 4 to 6 miles a gallon.
Yeah, we're not looking for that.
So. Yeah, it's all about the smiles for gallon, not miles.
And you guys know, I already kind of talked about it. Our idea for this truck is I don't want it to be some crazy show truck, but at the end of the day, we want to be able to jump in it. You know, if we want to drive a couple hours away, we don't have to worry about it. We want it to be durable. But if we want to put it in a car show, Steve says we'll be able to do that more than likely. We'll just have to see. But anyways, Steve, this is not his full-time gig right now. So he kind of works on, you know, I'm not gonna get too personal with all the cars he has, but you can kind of look at some of these are very nice vehicles, and that's what he kind of specializes in. And he does everything from the engine work. He builds custom engines. He does interior work, body work, everything but painting pretty much.
Metal work, yeah. I try to stay away from the paint and body. I do a lot of electrical wiring. I do a ton of welding. As much fabrication as I can.
All right.
Yeah, it's definitely a part-time / full-time gig, or should I say, it's a part-time that takes full-time hours. And but there'll be big things from my page or my channel. There'll be big changes coming up with me too in the next, I don't know, 6 to 8 months. So
one thing I didn't tell you guys yet, I was trying to save it, but he just spilled the beans on it. This build on this 86C10, Steve has a YouTube channel as well, and he's going to start documenting that. He's going to set some cameras up and kind of video the whole process. I don't know if he'll get every single thing in there, but all the way, he's already started video on the block we got setting over there, the 5.3. I think we ended the video the last time I was here putting some pistons in and stuff like that. So if you guys want to follow this build, I'll put his link down in the description below, but his YouTube channel is Steve's Speed Shop.
Yep.
And you had a banner up there.
Yeah, the banner's up there. I think if you do, when you go to YouTube, I think if you do Steve's Speed Shop,
I think that's how I found it.
Yeah, I think there are some.
I'll put a link down there, and all they gotta do is click on it.
I know on Facebook if you search it on Facebook as well, which I am still on Facebook, but there's. What's the old phrase? Often duplicated, but
there's a lot of Steve Speed Shops.
There's only one Steve Walden, thank goodness. So,
but yeah, I'll put the link down in the description, and you guys can go right there. And if you will, please do me a favor and subscribe to him if you guys are interested in seeing how this turns out. And if he's not doing a good job, don't be shy and tell him, hey, you should have done this or that. I'm just kidding. Don't give him a hard time. But anyways, we're gonna ask Steve, like, what is his plan for this truck? I've kind of told you guys, Steve knows where I kind of want to go with it, so we're gonna let him talk about what his plan is to tackle this little truck.
So where do you want to start? I mean,
let's start in the engine bay.
Yeah, we can start on the engine bay. The good thing is you got very good bones. This truck is very solid. Of course, we don't know what's hiding underneath the paint, and the paint we'll end up sourcing the paint outside of the shop, but a lot of the prep with the inside of the truck. But my plan is on the truck is, of course, the small block Chevy that's in it now is very tired and very weak, and it's very factory underneath the hood. So what I tend to do, and we try not to take him down a huge rabbit hole, because it's really tough to find a stopping point on, like, where do you want the pretty to start and hide the ugly. But my plan, I'll end up pulling the front clip off. This truck is going to get vintage air. We're going to do some suspension and chassis work. Definitely, you know, we may end up putting some tubular A-frames on it, but the truck will be lowered. I'll try. My goal is like when you pop the hood, I want to have it very nice under the hood. I tend to hide wiring, my hose routing, everything is really neatly, nicely tucked. A lot of the stuff on the firewall I'll clean up, and of course once the truck is stripped down, you know, the firewall, we'll try to smooth it up the best we can and paint it body colored. We'll end up jamming out the fenders. Of course, the engine with the 5.3 that's sitting over on the stand, it'll probably be painted up body color, and it'll be color matched to look really good underneath the truck. Basically underneath here, it will look new and clean, and it may not be that, it'll be something that Kevin will be proud of and it will look good, but at the end of the day, this will be a truck because it is getting a 5.3 and a 4L60 transmission. This will be a vehicle that you'll be able to get into it, start it, and just go. There's nothing wrong with carbureted engines. We've driven carbureted engines across country for years, but the technology's there, so we're gonna use it. But that's kind of my plan. The first thing we'll end up doing is I'll pop the front clip off of here, we'll pull the engine and transmission out, and then wire wheel the frame. We may do some pour 15 on the frame, just get everything clean and nice, and then start building everything back. So all the wiring will be refreshed, and we'll hide everything as much as we can. May do some upgrades with the brakes, but it's hard to say, because usually whenever I start one of these things, you get to a point where you tell the customer, hey, I think this would look good, or this might work better, but that's kind of the goal. The interior, we're gonna gut the interior. This truck is gonna go through a color change. We'll end up stripping the cab down and get rid of the analog gauge system. I believe you bought a digital dash for it.
Yep, this will all be digital, new technology.
Yeah, and then once the cab is gutted, it looks like we need some rockers, or yeah.
Yeah, there's rust here and there.
Yeah.
But this was the best vehicle I've looked at in over 2 or 3 years, as far as the rust being
once we gut the cab and get everything out of the inside of the cab, we'll inspect the floorboards and make sure and replace what needs to be replaced and go from there. But my goal would be on the inside, pretty much for the whole truck, is if you pop the hood or you open the door on this thing, I want it to look like it came out factory, the color that we're going to repaint it. And I've done some of these square bodies in the past. I had years ago had an 85 that was red and white, and I basically did the exact same thing. Of course, I didn't have the finances back then, but I actually painted the inside of the cab of the truck and converted it to electric windows. But there's a lot of stuff that you can purchase nowadays for these that you couldn't, 20 years ago. So, but that's the plan. Just do it nice, clean, get everything cleaned up in here, and get it painted body color. And then we'll figure out what color to do the interior, whether we put, a camel color interior, or if it's a black. That's going to be choices that Kevin and his family make.
I don't think I shared with them the paint color. They're going to have to stay tuned on that. I let Rachel pick the paint color, of course, but they're going to have to stay tuned on that. So you guys are going to have to be subscribed to both our channels if you want to keep up with all the updates on this, because Steve's going to be working on it here and there, and then whenever he gets a video done on certain parts that he's working on, or that project of this truck, then he'll probably post that video. And I'll be here too, helping here and there, doing things that I can do, and I'll update you guys. But he'll have the majority of the videos and stuff on his channel, so make sure you check him out. But so like he said, a lot of this stuff is going away. Like, this is probably going to be one of the first things, is he's going to pull this off. The engine's going away, and I've actually already got it sold, so we'll take that money and put it back into the truck. We got a new radiator. He told you guys we got the vintage air system. This truck did have factory air conditioning, but this old technology and it's really weak, so the vintage air is going to be...
The biggest issue with the vintage air on these mid-80s, well, actually all the way back to the 73 to 87, these trucks, the air conditioners are all right. They work fairly decent, but underneath the dash, the vents, they just don't seal up real tight. So you have a lot of waste unless you go in there and you seal up all the vents and stuff. But
and they take up a lot of room.
yeah, the vintage air systems. You know, for the people on my channel, a lot of people that subscribe to me, they pretty much understand what the systems are. But it gets rid of all of this. There's if you have vehicles that you don't have a lot of room in, especially when you get into muscle cars where you're talking Camaros and Chevelles, and you know, like the '69 Camaro that's back here. It's yeah, this one's went under the knife quite a bit. That was an absolutely gorgeous car, and there's build videos of this car on my channel. I don't have much on this car here, but there's other engine builds and stuff like that. But
yeah, he's always busy with something, so he's always got something going on.
yeah, well, let's take a look at your engine real quick.
Let's look.
We started assembling his engine. It's like I said, it's just it's going to be a good solid 5.3 build. Nothing race car, but essentially it'll have.
We did upgrade the cam a little bit.
Yeah, the cam's a little bit bigger. We've got the.
We went with the truck Norris.
Yeah, we got the truck Norris cam, so you know, hide your. Yeah, you know, this is a good cam. I assume there's a lot of people that use these.
I did some research on it. And that's what a lot of people recommended for a build like this. We'll see.
It's a little bit small compared to some of the builds that I put together, but on this one, and most times whenever I build an engine, especially a 3rd and 4th gen, which everybody likes to call everything LSs nowadays, but these engines typically have what's called torque to yield bolts, and I upgrade to aftermarket bolts so you can do torques. These are ARP bolts, ARP main studs, ARP rod bolts. Of course, whenever you look at the engine lingo, you've got the bottom end, the crankshaft was turned, so everything is back to kind of an original spec, I would say. But
so when this goes in the truck, it'll be like brand new.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it'll be
all new parts.
Yeah, everything within the engine is new except for the block, the crankshaft, and the rods, which those are all reconditioned. It's got new oil pump, all your bearings, rings. It'll have all new gaskets, new seals on the cylinder heads. You know, you take I think your heads are down here, but cylinder heads are all rebuilt. They go through and they make sure the guides are in good shape, and then the valve seats are all, you know, they seal. So so you basically have a new engine when you build one correctly. I mean, I see a lot of people that just, you know, I'm very particular when it comes to putting these things together. And as you can see, I have quite an assortment around me. So I've got other engines sitting over here that I have yet to put together, but for the most part, this will be new. The block, once I get it to a certain point, I'll start masking this thing up. This will be stuff that'll be on my channel. I'll mask the block up and get it get some epoxy paint on it, and then it will be body color more than likely, just so it'll kind of look decent in the truck. You won't see much of the block, but it'll definitely be the body color, and then it'll be trimmed in aluminum black. So it's going to look with body color that we're going to reveal later on, or Kevin can reveal later on. It's really going to pop. It's going to look really nice. So
I know people's going to ask this question, so I'm going to have to go ahead and ask it. What is the expected horsepower that you're expecting to get out of this build?
On this one, I would, you know, a conservative number would be anywhere from 325 to 350. And that's a total guess. It could be, I would say, anywhere from 3 to 350, depending on what tune we do. And I don't know on this truck Norris cam, honestly, I don't know what kind of numbers they're getting, but I'll try to end up doing a lot of the tuning as well with the HP, because this is going back with a factory ECU. And if we get to the point where, you know, we want to see if it can give us a little bit more, we can actually take it somewhere and have it dyno tuned. But it's not anything, this is definitely not anything that you're going to want to put on the racetrack, by no means. But I tell you, if you are cruising
reliable,
you're cruising Friday, Saturday night, and you pull this thing up to a stoplight, and I don't know, you got some guy, some young kid in a rice burner over there that if you really want to show him what American muscle is, you can stomp it, and you'll be able to drown out his his car and
That's
probably
what we
cover
want.
it in smoke. So
That's what we want.
yeah, it'll be good. It's gonna be a fun build. It's gonna be a little lengthy, but excuse me. But yeah, I'll try to do as much filming as I can on my channel with the truck. Once again, with my shop too, I've got other films or other vehicles that I'm filming stages of too. So, and I'll appreciate anybody. Hey, I'm not begging you to come out and subscribe, but it is greatly appreciated. And if you are into the automotive world, then this is kind of what I do. So,
yep. So yeah, you guys know most stuff we show on our channel is farm related, but then again, we always tell you guys we're a vlog channel more than anything. So anything we're doing, anything we got a passion for, we video it and throw it on our channel. And this is one thing you guys know. Back in February when I brought this truck home, I made the video of it and didn't really do much more with it. But a lot of you guys were interested, so that's why we're going to go ahead and throw this video on here with the truck, because that is something that we are doing, and we wanted to bring our Hidden Heights farm family along with us. But if you guys will, go check out Steve's Speed Shop on YouTube, and I will leave the link down in the description below. And stay tuned, because I don't know. This will be put together and then it'll be painted, I guess.
yeah.
So
Yeah, like I said,
it'll have to be put together before he's actually inserted into the truck. So that will probably be one of the first processes.
Yeah, there's a good chance too, like that engine we showed earlier back in the back that's sitting on my run stand, and I've never modified that stand to run a fuel injected engine, and I might actually do that.
Might as well
set it up to where I can run it on the engine stand, which is really nice, because then I can work out any bugs or leaks or you know, any issues before it actually goes into the truck. But yeah, it'll be probably the first thing I'm going to do on your truck is we're going to get after teardown. Like it's getting ready to be noseless and engineless. So
we better take one quick last look at it, because this is going to be the last time it's going to look like this. So you guys know earlier in the video I did the little drone flyby, but it's going to be a whole different truck here pretty quick.
yep.